Hi folks, welcome to Economic Observations. My name is Chris. Today is the 10th of February and I hope you are well. Thank you so much for watching. This video is brought to you by the Tanzania School Foundation, a nonprofit near and dear to my heart. There are links in the description below should you like to support it. Let's get started. Today we got the CPI index and they said that the average increase of prices over all sectors or most sectors was 7.5%. We know that that's a far cry from reality, and we can talk about what is really driving it. Yesterday I talked about corporate greed and how it is driving up inflation in many ways. They are able to charge more because people are willing to pay for it right now. But I think that, I can say we should boycott these big conglomerates, small producer stuff, buy store brand stuff, buy other brands aside from these big mega corporations, because we are just fueling this infinite escalation of everything. And if we help reduce their earnings, maybe it can have some effect on what the hell's going on. Or are we going to come to a point in time where Americans in general just can't afford to pay these prices anymore? Let's face it, oil, gas, electricity, all of the energy sector has gone up 40% year over year. We all need to use it, and it's really difficult to cut it out of our lives. I mean, I live in the Northeast here in Massachusetts, and how in the world can we stay warm in our homes without either electricity, natural gas, oil, or even a pellet stove? But that wouldn't help the whole house. They're getting us over a barrel. But there's going to be a time when people just can't afford it anymore. They can't afford the rents. They can't afford the electricity. Insurance is going up all across all sectors, right? From liability insurance to homeowners insurance, auto insurance, life insurance. It's all going up. And why? Because it could. And they think, they pump into our heads that the economy is great, everybody is working, and we know that more jobs were lost. And in the Great Resignations, we also know that many of those jobs were crappy jobs in the leisure and hospitality sector. But here's a good one for you on that. So supply and demand. Yesterday, Stubhub reported that there is such high demand for tickets for the Super Bowl, which is this Sunday. Yesterday, they reported to Reuters that the perfect storm of factors is fueling sky-high prices for the Super Bowl as fans clamor to be part of the Sunday championship game in Los Angeles. And I guess it's not every year that one of the teams gets to play in their home stadium. We had that last year with the Buccaneers and this year with the Rams, but very rarely. And let's face it, in New England, we will never get the Super Bowl in February because it is bloody cold, and the Patriots never played at home throughout their whole tenure of making it to the game. So it's a big deal for people in California, and it says the Super Bowl is always a hot ticket, but with the Rams playing in their home stadium, die-hard Bengal fans are flying from Cincinnati, and no attendance restrictions for the first time in 2 years, and demand is skyrocketing. This was yesterday. And the get-in price on Stubhub yesterday was $4,000. Yep, $4,000 for one ticket. I also understand that parking is $300. And forget the beer and the burgers and all that. Astronomical. Not fun. But it says that was the get-in ticket. So that means you're up in the nosebleed section. $4,000. And the average price for a ticket sold on the site was a whopping $6,500. Now talk about excess. And we're going to talk about another excess in a bit. But today, Stubhub came out with a report that apparently the ticket prices for the Super Bowl reportedly fell $1,000 in the last 48 hours. So why yesterday is Stubhub reporting such high supply and demand? Because they want to trick the human mind. If you want to go, you better buy your tickets now because there won't be any left later. Right? It's all psychology. It's all what they feed us and what they tell us and what they want us to believe. But the reality today is, we're getting closer to the game. It's only 3 days away. And now they're telling us, well, the price of tickets has gone down $1,000, and they have so many excess tickets now that the price may even go lower because there isn't the demand that they just said there was yesterday. It says, as of Thursday morning, Stubhub's cheapest ticket dropped to $3,300, up in section 532. It says the average sales were high, but there just hasn't been enough of them. California bias, given the Rams are in it, is lower than it should be. If LA doesn't come through with last minute reputation, this can turn out to be a really cheap ticket. So, buyer beware. We were told through Thanksgiving that there was not going to be enough turkeys and stuffing and cranberry sauce and all the fixing, and we should buy early. And then 3 days before Thanksgiving, there were so many turkeys for 29 cents a pound. But they fueled this fear into us that we might not have the products so we can buy at the high prices. It's the same thing they're doing with these Super Bowl tickets. At Christmas time, buy your Christmas tree early. You may not be able to get one. And then the week of December 26th, there were pallets and pallets of fresh trees at Lowe's and Home Depot that were going into the rubbish. There were hundreds of artificial trees left over, along with lights and ornaments and the like. There was no shortage. It's just trying to make us psychologically have fear that we're not going to get something we want, and we should pay for it sooner rather than later. And this is exactly what Stubhub did prior to today. Yes, we're going to run out of tickets. If you want it, you better get it now. The demand is high, and we only have so few tickets for sale, and there's only limited seats in the stadium. And today, on Thursday, with 2 days left to go, oh no, we have so many tickets and not enough demand. Tickets prices are coming down. This is what the media does to us. They pump an artificial story to have us run out and buy something at inflated prices. That's exactly what these corporations want us to do. And then they have these extraordinary earnings, and the CEOs get richer, and the executives and the shareholders. They tell us a load of crap, just like the CPI index. I was reading another interesting story today. I heard it on a channel, and Chanel, the maker of handbags, one of their handbags, this is really freaky. One of Chanel handbags currently sells for $5,800, and it is getting a whopping $3,000 price increase. $8,800 coming in 2022. I believe it already came by the end of January. Now you tell me, who in their right mind would buy an $8,300 mini tiny little Chanel handbag? I worked at Goldman Sachs for 25 years, and I didn't see any Chanel handbags. And my daughter would never buy a Chanel handbag. $8,300. Yep, all of their bags. There's one bag here that the mini Coco handbag, the mini Coco handle. It was selling for $4,300, and now it's selling for $4,800. The small Coco handle was selling for $4,600, and now it's at $5,000. I mean, I can go on and on. But who the hell is so vain that they would need a Chanel handbag? Really? I don't get it. It's all weird, but I don't know how do you get away with a $3,000 increase on a handbag? And how many people buy these things? Really? Am I so out of the loop? Maybe I raised my kids a little differently. I had a good job. I didn't spend frivolously. We didn't buy things. Like, our value was not in things. But we would travel and travel all around the world. And that was more important to me than owning a Chanel handbag. My daughter today, and she has a good job, she has a master's degree, her husband is a PhD, he has a great job. She shops at thrift stores. Even her apartment is loaded with stuff from Facebook Marketplace. I don't think she's ever bought, aside from a mattress, a new piece of furniture. There is so many other ways. And it's not that you can't afford to buy these things. It's just priorities are different. And people are more vain than others. But Super Bowl tickets, Chanel handbags, thousands of dollars. The average wage of middle income family is $52,000, and that's just a joke. I was watching a story on YouTube about this couple outside of Dallas, and she couldn't live in Dallas anymore, and she had to move to the suburbs. They brought in $150,000 a year, and they still don't have enough money because prices are rising, and taxes are rising, and the cost of health insurance, and the cost of everything else. They're living in the suburbs, but they want to live in the city, but they can't. She's a registered nurse. There's going to be a time frame when companies and Stubhub and Chanel won't be able to raise these prices anymore because there's going to be no one left to buy anything. Like, people, they're just going to outprice the majority of the country. And whether it be in a food sector, in a household goods, or any of those companies I mentioned yesterday. And that's when the disinflation's going to happen, and then down to a deflationary. Because right now, they're taking advantage and not fully understanding the American family today. And although we might like our Colgate toothpaste, we might have to switch to the store brand because that's all we could afford. We might have to switch from Coca-Cola to a no-name brand of soda. We may have to switch from Bounty paper towels to a no-name brand. And that is going to hurt them. Stubhub is going to be left on the hook without selling a lot of people's tickets. And people put their tickets on Stubhub because Stubhub was telling them that the demand was so high. And who's going to be left carrying the bag? The people who didn't get to sell their tickets. They probably had to pay Stubhub to list them on their site. Just look at all those people on Social Security. And people with good jobs that aren't so good anymore with the rising prices. And when people can't afford it anymore, that's when the prices will come down. It won't be when the Fed raises interest rates, because if the corporations have more cost involved with rising rates, they're just going to raise their prices more. It's not going to affect them because they're testing the waters for the past year and a half, and people are still paying the price. And also, they say that people are spending more than ever. And the reason why they're spending more than ever is because the prices are so high. And in many things, we don't have a choice. All right, I rambled on way too long. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, share it if you can. I'd love for it to grow a little bit more. Be kind, call someone, tell them you love them. And we'll talk again real soon. Comment below. I love hearing from you. Have a great night.